Hi everyone, so joined with me today is Justine from the Philippines, and she is Miss Tourism World 2022 first runner-up. Now this is her first interview, so we'd like to get to know her a bit, and I wonder how she feels about going on that stage in Vietnam. Justine,
Hi.
I'm so happy you're here. How are you?
I'm good. Of course, like with everything that's been happening, it's been nice to just kind of relax a little bit and then unwind now. So I feel good, and I'm very happy to be part of the top 5 as well, given that like it's been such a long journey, and with any competition, there's always nerves that kick in. So you never really know what's gonna happen. So happy to be here.
Well, I've been on the tour with you as well from day one, so I think it was 21 days we've been in Vietnam so far. And is there any special moment that you can say that you felt when you travelled?
I think for me, it's more about getting to know girls from all over the world, just because I think it's so cool that we can all come together. And let's be honest, like sometimes, you know, when you first meet somebody, it's a bit tricky to get a connection with them, especially with girls. We have our reservations. But then with this batch, I feel like everyone just connected so quickly, which made every experience in each province more memorable, because it's like going on a girls' trip with your friends. Even though we don't really know each other, we've known each other for like a few days, a week, but even then, we were already so close. So places like Mok Chau and Trang An, we were experiencing it together and knowing that we will take these memories alongside with us.
Was it your first time in Vietnam?
Oh yes, it was my first time in Vietnam, but I was super excited because I have a lot of Vietnamese friends growing up in Canada.
Oh, really?
So I've always wanted to know what their culture is like, and every time I go to their family's house, they always feed me Vietnamese food. So I think that was one of the exciting things that I wanted to do, was try Vietnamese cuisine. But to be honest, it was a little bit different from my expectations, because when they explained it, that the traditional food here in the provinces is different from the more, I guess, central part of Vietnam. So that's what I experienced here, because I was expecting more like spring rolls and lemongrass chicken. But when I got a taste of what they really had for traditional food, it was more eye-opening for me, and you know, it takes some time to get used to.
Same with me, so I can join you on that one. But you got used to it in the end.
I did, yes, and I lost a couple of pounds, so I think that's a good thing before finals.
How did it feel then? Let's just talk about the final. So it was yesterday in Vinh Phuc in Vietnam, and the first time that this province had seen such an international event, and we really did bring the world to Vietnam.
You did.
So how did it feel, you know, going on that stage for the first time in front of 4,000 plus people?
It honestly, when you said yesterday, it feels like a week ago. I just feel like so many things happened since then. I think yesterday, it's a different experience for me, because usually when I go on pageants, in the Philippines most especially, I feel more nervous. But I think yesterday was more of an enjoyable moment, because I was telling my family and friends, like, this is my graduation day. No matter what happens, given all my pageant experiences, this will be, I would like to think, my last, you know, step into the journey of the pageant world, and it was a very memorable one. So I didn't really feel as nervous, because I was just enjoying and really knowing that it's a different culture, and people are so warm and friendly here. Like everywhere we go, people just want pictures with you, and people are always saying hi to you. So it felt like they were really welcoming us, and it didn't feel like competition, pretty much, just in terms of like how it was like a festival with the dances. My family was there, so seeing their faces in the crowd was really nice.
When you said your name, you know, the Philippines, your country, you could hear the crowd and you could hear your support and everyone with your flags, and I can't imagine that feeling, like representing your country. How did that feel?
It was really touching, because honestly, it was only my family who went, and that was like 5 people. So when I heard more than them screaming for me, it was nice, because like I didn't know that there's some Filipinos in the crowd that really came to Vinh Phuc just to support me. Even though I didn't know that, I just kind of ran into them after the show. And then I guess like even some of the locals here were screaming my country. So for me, when I heard that on stage, I felt like a winner already, because I knew I won their hearts as well.
Well, you also won the prize Best Evening Gown, and your evening gown, I just need to say, is absolutely beautiful. Where
Thank
did you find that? Can I borrow it as well?
Yeah, of course, anytime. I mean, it was really heavy. I was actually really nervous about walking in it because we've only had 2 days rehearsals and we didn't really have enough time to rehearse with the actual dress on the stage. So,
well, we couldn't tell.
Really?
I'll
Okay, because like I was in my mind, I was like, the last thing I really want is to trip, and of course the pressure of the Philippines watching. And when Filipinos watch, they really want to see the girl perform. So I think that's also like in the back of my head, like I have to do so much with this dress, I have to be beautiful, I have to stand out. So when I won Best in Evening Gown, it was a nice feeling to know that it kind of, you know, like my presence there worked and that the judges really liked it. But the gown was made by Sir Leo Almadal, which is a famous designer in the Philippines. And he's made gowns for a lot of beauty queens already and celebrities in the industry. So people in Miss Universe he's made for, Miss International, celebrities back home. So he's very well known. So when I was able to work with him, I was very flattered because when he works with her girls, you know that he believes in you. So it was really nice, and the color itself was it was a standout.
Oh, it was beautiful, it was vibrant, and I can see why you got that prize. Did you expect it?
No, honestly I did not. I didn't even think about it because in my mind I was like, okay, just do your best, don't trip, and whatever happens, you know, be happy for it. So when I got called Best in Evening Gown, I was shocked, but I knew that online and like in my head I was like, oh, I'm making my designer proud, I'm making my team proud, my family proud, so it was a nice feeling.
Well, with the show, you noticed that there was sort of a brand story and the heritage sites were all implemented in the show. There were 5 provinces that we travelled, and that was incorporated in your dance, in the lantern dance and all your outfits. Which performance do you think was the best for you? Which was your favourite?
Well, we've done one of the dances already prior to this competition. In Sonla, we did the Seoul Festival where we did with the ladies. So that was
and
nice
the cute
to see
little
on the
children.
stage. Yes, and then but the first one, the opening dance that we did with the lanterns, I think that was cool because the designer actually specifically made gowns for us. It was called a Aodai. I think it was one of their traditional dresses, and she tailored it for each girl. So she handmade everything. So I thought it was so special because we were able to wear that on stage, and she got to let us keep it as a souvenir. So now I have something to take home with me aside from, you know, the memories.
So what does tourism mean to you then, Justine?
Tourism, you know, for me, I've felt like I was a tourist all my life because I love traveling. If not with my family, then I like to go by myself as well. And I grew up living the best of both worlds. I grew up in Canada as well, so I was really exposed to different cultures growing up. So I'm always fascinated about what traditions people have in their homes, aside from the Filipino traditions. And I always want to know because I want to be, of course, I want to be respectful to everyone, and I feel like tourism helps us connect to one another. And that's how you make friends as well, you know? And I think after the pandemic, traveling has been so hard for the past 2 years. And of course, we know that tourism is a key pillar for economies to boost and for countries to thrive. So I think that having tourism back is very important because we have to help people's livelihoods, especially in the Philippines. It's one of the sectors that's been hit badly. So it's nice to see things opening up again. And this way, like Vietnam, they really show their heritage, their traditions, so that people can finally see again what the country's all about and the beauty of it, so people fall in love with traveling all over again.
Well, I think as well one of the main reasons in this Miss Tourism world is lots of people like to be a role model, and you're tourism ambassador now, that's your title.
Yes.
And what is something that you'd like to show the rest of the world, anyone that wants to enter the pageant, follow your footsteps? What would you tell them now?
In terms of joining pageants?
Or following your journey, what would you tell anyone watching that figures you as their role model right now? Any children, anyone young in the younger generation, the future, what would you tell them?
It sounds so cliche, but I would always tell them is to believe in yourself and to always surround yourself with people that believe in you as well, because being in a pageant is really not as easy as what it seems on stage. A lot of people think it's just, you have to be beautiful up there, given the name beauty pageant, but it's really more than just that, you know, and you're representing not just yourself, but a whole community, a country, people who look up to you, and you have to make sure that you have a support system, because sometimes when the pressure gets to you, of course, you feel like you're doubting yourself, you feel like you're failing, and failure is a part of the journey, and I think that you also have to accept that, because if you don't get what you want, you're only redirected to something better. And I think that people should never give up on their dreams, because I mean, this definitely wasn't my first try. I've tried 3 times before getting into an international pageants, and it's paid off. So I think if you have a dream, stick to it, believe in yourself, and work hard, and always have the right people behind you.
And lastly, I'd just like to ask you, what would you tell anyone watching from the Philippines? Is there anything you want to say to your fans?
Yes, of course. Hello everyone, magandang gabi or magandang araw to everyone in the Philippines. Nagpapasalamat lang talaga po ako sa lahat ng suporta nyo from the very start of my journey in 2015 up until now. I feel like you have grown with me so much in my pageant journey, and I can't do this without you guys, because you really are my strength and my pillar for why I am here. So maraming salamat, especially to my mermaids, that's what they call themselves.
Really? Oh.
And to everyone who's still following me even after my pageant journey, thank you so much. And I hope that with whatever I do, that you guys continue to support me and all the ladies that I'm with. And I just wanted to say I love you guys for everything.
I think everyone watching is going to be so grateful for that message.
Yes.
I did just say one more thing. What's next for the future for you? I'm sure everyone wants to know.
What's next?
What would you like to do?
That's such a big question. Of course, travel the world. As a tourism ambassador now, I'd hope to travel more. But one day I hope to have a business of my own as well. I'm very into skincare and beauty, given this whole industry, but it's always been a fascination of mine, and I graduated in medical aesthetics. So that's something I look forward to, because I always want to empower women on natural beauty, but also beauty from the inside out. So I think that's always a passion of mine, and I want to continue that legacy as well through traveling or through a business. And I just want to show the girls who want to do pageants or modeling or some sort of this industry that they can do it too, but it doesn't always have to be just on the outside.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'd just like to say congratulations once again, Miss Tourism World
Thank you so much.
2022, first runner-up from the Philippines.
Thank you.